Good after morning, folks. Mike Wells, your world explorer. Today is March the 13th, 2025, and we're going to take a look at all the flowers that we have growing right here in our yard. Now, as you can tell, these are some beautiful orchids, and they grow abundantly in this environment. We are on the border of zone 9B and 10A, and it's nice and cool out. But you see the orchid has been fixed to the tree. Here's another orchid. These are just store-bought orchids. Now the way we fix them to the tree is with this burlap mesh material and a few nails. Now if you want, at the end of the video, at the top right, you click on that link, and that's the backstories of how we actually fix these orchids to the trees. It's actually very quick and easy. Here is an example, but the squirrels tore all this up, so now this orchid has perished. We also have some nice large air plants. Here are some air plants that I just recently fixed up in here because they came off of one of my other trees. This ball of air plants got too heavy, so it fell right off the side. Look at these orchids. But you see how those orchids are fixed to the tree? The roots, they sprawl, the anchor roots. Beautiful orchids. Some big air plants down there. Now, here we have some pineapples. Those are an air plant. A lot of folks don't know that, but we're trying them in this location. We'll see how well they do. Here's our pineapple patch over here. We've got some pineapples coming. I'll cover that in a different video. Now let's check around through the yard where we have some bromeliads, air plants, and other orchids growing around. I really enjoy air plants, orchids, bromeliads. Now this one's been here for years, but it never produced any color. This year, it finally has produced some color. I'm not sure what that is in the inside, but maybe it's some flower seeds or something, I don't know. But look at how pretty that is. We just set it and forget it, and they grow. So let's go to the other side of the yard. I'm going to go to the very front of the home. Now here, down here, you'll see these large bromeliads. They produce these very pretty light pink, spiky looking flowers. There's an old dead one. That gives you an example of the kind of shape the flower has. Now we started with just one of these. It grew pups. We pulled them off. Now look how many over the course of 3-4 years, I think. Up here we have some nice big beautiful air plant. Over here we have this huge air plant set up. Massive, giant air plants. These are crazy. Look at that, huh? They are colorful. Trying to get a focus here. Very nice. Down here, this is one of the first orchids we've ever fixed to our trees. The plant itself doesn't look that hardy, but it's still growing flowers. These will be white, I believe. Very large white flowers. If you look in here, over here, we've got more orchids growing. No flowers yet, but they're coming soon. More orchids down there, but you see the damage that the squirrels like to cause. If it obstructs the squirrels even just a little bit, they get all angry and upset and they try to tear it out of there. Now here's a bunch of orchids too over here, but these are indigenous types, just like right here. This is an indigenous type of orchid. They just grow on the sides of trees naturally in this climate in this part of Florida. Here's an orchid down here. It's not producing any flowers as of right now. This thing we just set here a long time ago, and it seems to be doing just fine on its own. We've got a bunch of little air plants that we set in here. They're doing well. Look at this orchid. It's starting to throw some flowers. It's actually started to anchor itself. So this one should be interesting. Let's look over here real quick. Now this is a branch that we found in the yard, and a bunch of air plants and stuff were on it. So we just tied it to this tree in hopes that the air plants would, and the orchids would, fix themselves to this tree. Look at that right there. Let's go. We got one more location. Actually, two. I'll show you the flaming torch bromeliads. They're not blooming yet. But this huge patch of flaming torch bromeliads literally blooms all at the same time. And when it does, they're hot pink. So look at the size of this patch. That's coming soon. Let me show you one last location in the yard. I've got more bromeliads back there. Tons of the flaming torch bromeliads. They make for good ground cover underneath the understory of your oaks. That's where they seem to thrive. They don't do well in the full sun. The sun will scorch them. Then they'll look ugly and like a pale green yellow. Now over here, let's take a look at this. These are my favorite orchids on the property. These guys right here. Super pretty. Doop. Look at this one. Now it's producing a bunch of new ones, so this won't be looking so scarce. Here's the new ones coming out here and here. And here's a bunch of bromeliads up top, the flaming torch bromeliads. I'm going to thin all this out at some point in the year, because this is getting a little bit out of control. Same thing over here. Folks, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That helps the channel grow. And stay tuned, because I got a lot more flowers that we like to fix to our trees throughout the years coming. Have a great day.